This is Dell K. Brereton, and this is the real spiel. To all of the cyclopses that are in the building, to my main man, Dr. David Israel, the Hebrew languageologist, all the way here from Orangeville, Ontario, to the world. It's the brown skin assassin, the 6'7" wonder. There'll never be another, the 275 pounds of chocolate brother, coming to you from the airwaves of streaming and YouTube into your doggone living room, your car, your classroom, your job, wherever the heck you are. I am here to have a conversation with the minions and the ninjas around the world. Listen to me and hear me well. You have set a template. You have. Hey, good morning, brother. Who is this now? Black Panther X. Right on time, baby. You have set a template for a Kim Kardashian presidency. You think this is a joke. You think this is a spoof. But what you don't realize is Kim Kardashian has actually been setting the stage for a presidential run for quite some time. You think it's ridiculous. Let me show you why it is not in America. The deplorableness of American Western civilization, and it is not exclusified to Western civilization, because some of those Saudi Arabian princes be doing the same nonsense too. But we have set a world cultural atmosphere that the individuals who have risen to the forefront of our eyes in their stardom in the area of entertainment, in the area of sports, that these people have done so not based on the greatness of their character, not based on the irreplaceableness of their talents. We have not fostered Beethovens or Chauvins. We have not created the great thinkers of tomorrow. We haven't manufactured as our leaders and our social icons individuals who are amazing statesmen. No. We have fanned the flames of stardom based on nothing. The current person that you have about to be sitting in the White House, number 47, is a star based on nothing. And Kim Kardashian is actually the reason that you have a Donald Trump presidency. That's right. Always comes back to Donald for me. But you have a template based on this family, this Kardashian culture, that people are more in love with deplorableness than they are in love with merit. The meritocracy of the world has been set aside to the flamboyance of the degradingness. As how degrading can you go? How degenerate can you go? And once you take degeneracy and you now ingest it, it becomes what you're looking for. Let me give you an example. I remember, and you do too, when Instagram was not a soft pornographic site. I remember at the very beginning of Instagram, when it was not the place for OnlyFans or for Instagram so-called models. Look at the people who are leading the charge in respect to being followed on Instagram. They are gyrating, twerking, naked, beautiful girls. They are your social leaders, your influencers are pretty half-naked girls. That's right. Back in the day, your Hustler magazine girl She didn't say a word. Your penthouse centerfold model, she didn't speak. You just looked at her. But today, that young lady is on Instagram. She's giving you advice. She's telling you about relationships. She's talking to you about business. She's telling you how to take care of your body. She is giving you a tutorial on life. That is your idol. That is your president. Your prime ministers, your queens, your leaders are these young, beautiful, dumb girls on Instagram. And the Kim Kardashian star, or I'll call it a comet, the Kardashian comet, that has a tail that everybody has hung on to and has said that let's use this model to soar into the stratosphere of everyone's lives. People have adopted it and followed it. And she truly believes. I want you to Google this. I want you to look this up. Kim Kardashian for president. Kim Kardashian was thinking of running for president in 2024. She was thinking of running for president in 2020. And I'm telling you right now, Kim Kardashian will be thinking of running for president in 2028. And you know what? It might not be as crazy an idea as it sounds coming out of my mouth, because America has set the stage for a Kardashian type of presidency. These guys don't stop driving on the show to do that. The thing about life that is so amazing about America and so amazing about the Western world is that you actually, with the same voice that I can't support R. Kelly. I can't support Harvey Weinstein. I can't support Sean Combs and the despicable things that he has done. I can't support that. With the same voice you're saying that, you are singing sexy red songs. Say my coochie's pink and my booty hole's brown. The same voice. You're singing city girl songs on your way to the club with your girlfriends. With the same voice. With the same voice. And your brothers too, men and women. The same voice that looks at all of these sexual predators and says, I cannot believe that these guys were allowed to get away with this so long. You're the same people that are breaking your bank to buy Vibes Cartel concert tickets. Fickiana. You are the same people. We are addicted to depravity in our culture. We are. We're addicted. See, I don't exclude myself. You see, I'm not just pointing my finger anywhere. I am pointing my finger at myself too. We have a disgusting addiction to depravity that we cannot get out of our system. And it's not new. It's not new. We have an affinity towards lesser character people that we want to be our leaders. Forget about being just people that we tolerate. We want those people to be our leaders. We are looking for leadership from the lowest of the people. This is not a new thing. This is not a new thing. You know, I like to compare things to the Bible. There's a gentleman in the Bible by the name of Jeroboam. Jeroboam. And Jeroboam came to power in the northern kingdom after the death of Solomon. Solomon had a son called, I think his son was Rehoboam. And this boy was named Jeroboam. And Jeroboam was really just a servant. But because of the wickedness of Solomon, God allowed the kingdom to be torn away from his son. And his son wasn't a very nice fellow either. And Jeroboam was the most insecure king, but in his insecurity, he was very smart. He said that I know something about people. The kind of people that I am dealing with are the kind of people that revere the things they worship. Whatever they worship, their heart will be there. And because Jeroboam did not take control of the Levitical priesthood, the tabernacle, or all that stuff, he said, because those people are not with me, what I have to do is I cannot allow my people to go to the southern kingdom to worship. So Jeroboam came up with an insidious and evil plan. I have to give them something else to worship. I have to give them other priests to follow. And so Jeroboam created a false system of worship. But this is the interesting thing about what the scripture says that leads us to this conversation today. It said, of the priests, he took of the lowest of the people. I found that to be profound. I found that to be profound. Because you and I would think that if you're going to pick a religious leader, if you're going to pick an icon, if you're going to pick a president, if you're going to pick somebody that you're going to follow, wouldn't it be easier to look and smarter to find somebody that is the greatest amongst the people? But Jeroboam said no. He said, I'm going to pick priests that are of the lowest of the people. And this is why. Because if your leaders are operating on a low energy bar, a low character bar, then you can say to yourself, wow, I like him. He seems real. She seems real. They tell us about all of their failures and their weaknesses and their downfalls, and therefore I feel an affinity to them because they are just like me. And that is the secret sauce, baby, of the blind leading the blind. That is the archetype of social fad culture, where individuals who do not have that much talent, do not have that much intelligence, somehow are the leading charge of your entertainment adoration. You love those people. You don't need them. Why are Flavor Flavs famous? Why is Flavor Flav famous? Why is Flavor Flav famous? Huh? Why is Flavor Flav? Flavor Flav is still famous, but Chuck D nobody knows about. Nobody's thinking of Chuck D. Chuck D was the one writing all those dope rhymes. But Flavor Flav is the one who's still famous. And that is because it's easier to be Flavor Flav than it is to be Chuck D. To be Chuck D, you actually need a little bit of talent. It's much easier to be Flavor Flav because all you have to be is a cartoon. I think about gentlemen like Lil Wayne, and I say to myself, and what people don't understand is that Lil Wayne is apparently a genius. He's highly intelligent. This is the allegation, is what I've heard. He's highly intelligent, savant level intelligence. But this little fella, and taking away from the potential sexual abuse that he suffered under the hands of his particular money team, but setting that aside, Lil Wayne has become a tapestry of tattoos. His face, everything. He's covered in the hip hop mania of the culture that he has been dipped and immersed in. And I thought to myself, why does this little ugly boy try to make himself more ugly? Like, why is he going to the extent that he is effectively defacing himself to make himself look like this? And the answer, and the proof is in the pudding, because he realizes that is a larger draw than his intelligence. In fact, if he got up there and sounded too smart, sounded too intelligent, he would distance himself from the majority of the audience that loves him. But if he crawls into the shell of some hip-hop cockroachian type of look, then all of the cockroaches come out of the dark places and say, this is our leader. And I just find things like that to be absolutely discombobulating to my brain, to the point that it makes so much sense that a Kardashian could seriously sit in a position to be the leader of a not so free world. It makes total sense. In fact, Donald is setting it up so that, and it actually didn't start with Donald, it started with Ronald Reagan. It started with Ronald Reagan. When Ronald Reagan, an actor, became the president of the United States, a lot of people said, this thing's possible. It didn't stop with Ronald. Jesse Ventura, right? A wrestler, went out there and said, hey, I can be the governor. The Terminator can't even doggone conjugate a verb in English, went out there and said, I can be the governor too. Because we have a society, ladies and gentlemen, that has been sensationalized by a Marvel context of what should be your leader. An individual who plays a leader on television should be my leader in real life. I have absorbed the fictionalism of life to make it a reality in what I actually want to govern me. What made Arnold Schwarzenegger qualified to be the governor of any state in the United States of America? I'm not taking anything away from the Terminator. But the fact that we levitate to these types of things first, run to these types of things first, is an indictment on our behavior and mentality in the West. Other things too. I remember this, and I will check your comments. I always check your comments. And I did say he's a little ugly boy. You know that little boy is ugly. That boy ugly as sin. He's smart, but he's ugly. You know? And as they say, God don't like ugly, but he made himself a little ugly boy and made him famous. But listen, we have these I alluded to them earlier, these princes, I guess I should call them princes, in Saudi Arabia, these rich debutantes of the Arab culture in Saudi Arabia. And this is why this thing cannot be just pinned on the shoulders or the chests of Western men or women, because this is a disease that is in all of the culture. Affluence and wealth in the hands of the gluttonous, sexually and immorally gluttonous, is still a disease. Put wealth in the hands of the wrong people, they're just going to show you who they actually are. But these men, and I saw this particular thing, and it really, whoa. One of these guys invited an Instagram model to Dubai and flew her in, and beautiful black woman, absolutely fantastically looking black woman. And what this man did is he offered her $10,000 to eat his excrement. He defecated and told her to eat it for $10,000. And it was on Instagram. And this unfortunate young woman decided that the $10,000 that was basically paper he could have used to wipe his backside because of the level of his wealth, decided that that was enough money to eat a human being's excrement on video. And this mentality of you have to do what you have to do mentality has infected our black urban society to an extent that we have no idea how damaging that mentality has been to us. The I have to do what I have to do mentality has put us in a position where we have literally told God, excuse yourself, because I'm going to have to do what I have to do because you are taking too long to give me this Kardashian lifestyle that I believe that I deserve. And it's gotten that far. And let me tell you something. It's in your house. It's in your house. Don't just write off that little excrement eating beauty queen and think that she's an anomaly. She's not. She's the norm. Because it's in our households. But it's in your households to a much lesser extent that you don't even see it. It's in your households when you find your 2 or 3-year-old daughter and you want to put a belly top on her and you want to sexualize a little young girl. You want to put little makeup on her because you think it's adorable, you think it's cute. And you start sexualizing your children before the age of 5 years old, where you are participating in the God of this world's manufacturing of making sure that your young girls are wearing sexualized clothes at early ages. They want to be young women. They want to wear mommy's makeup. They want piercings in all parts of their body other than their ears, right? Before the ages of 16, they want to be pierced up. Now they want to be tatted up. Not only that, it's in your house. It's in your house when you're letting your high school girls have Botox in their face and their lips, when you're letting high school girls get breast augmentations when there's nothing wrong with their bodies, and butt augmentations. It's in your house. It's in your house because you're sexualizing these young girls, right? And the little boys aren't exempt. They're not exempt at all, right? Because it's in your house when you are saying, you know what, I rather to give my 13, 14-year-old son condoms now because I want to make him aware of what is out here and that I want him to practice safe sex, and you don't even use the word abstinence. It's in your house. It's absolutely in your house when you are driving to church and the little child sitting right next to you has their headphones on and they are being pumped full of that sexual, satanic, deplorable music right next to you while you've got jerking Kirk Franklin rolling. You've got Kirk you've got Kirk gyrating and you've got Ty Tribbett, right? New age gospel gyrating, and they're sitting right next to you and they're playing their version of whatever the heck they've got going on in their ears, and you don't care because you can't hear it. But you can see it. You can see it when your 13-year-old wants a lace front, when she wants to have the baby hairs off of the lace front, when she wants to look like a grown woman. And when I was 13, 13-year-olds looked like they're 13. 13-year-old, unless they had a couple X, but they didn't have grown woman hair, grown woman eyelashes. So it's in your house too. It's up in your house too. And Kim Kardashian is a leader of a lot of little girls in America. And if Kim isn't leading them, if Kim Kardashian is not leading him, some other Kim is. Okay? If Kim Kardashian's not leading her, there's another female rapper who is leading her. Some other female rapper who she looks up to that used to be a stripper or used to be a prostitute or talks in these crazy terminologies. She's not being led by Kim, but she might be led by Nikki. And let me tell you this too. Let me say this to you. Let me put this on the table. Let me put this on the stove so you can fry this up. Let me put this in your pipe so you can smoke it. Kim Kardashian was created by us. Kim Kardashian was created by Ray J. Ray J created Kim, a little black boy with less talent than his sister, who looked for attention and decided that he was going to make a nice little sex tape of a little Persian girl, and decided to, hey, let everybody see what I'm doing in the deplorableness of my sexual exploration, We don't know what that boy's up to now. Imagine, let me stick with my point because I'm so excited to get it out of my mouth. Ray J created Kim. Let's take Ray J out of it. Let's make Ray J sexualizing an exotic woman and publicizing it, making it popular that she not only being sexually exploited for all to see, accepted that as a badge of honor, but he now promoted it as a rite of passage, causing now little black boys to say, hey, I want me a little Kim Kardashian that I can have sex with and put it on the internet so people can see me, with my little 5'2", partially pubescent self. Can't say that word properly. It's not from my English language that I can speak, but partially pubescent self. And then you have Kim Kardashian in the infancy of her stardom, realizing that I just want to have sex with a star, even if it's a star's brother who's not even a star really, but I just want to have a connection to that individual who has inflated himself to make himself look good because he's spending his sister's money and utilizing his sister's talent to get anything. And so she now becomes, oh, I want to be like him and have sex with another little Ray J and put it on. I want to get famous like that. I would love that. That's love. Look at that. That's black kind of, Asian kind of, Persian love. And so, if you take it now and say, well, what has happened to Ray J's? What happens to the Ray J's of the world when that is their beginning? Ray J is one of the most little twisted little guys out here right now. Ray J is a little bizarre, sexual weirdo. He's a real weirdo. Go and try to find on YouTube a YouTube live where Nicki Minaj is doing a live and Ray J pops into her live. She puts him on the live and asks him about Down Low Brothers. And you listen to Ray J and the conversation that Ray J is a weird little duck, baby. He's a weirdo now because where he started with the sex tape with Kardashian and that little episode of his perversion in an elementary state, my goodness, that snake has become a dragon now. Woo. Ray J, listen, you want to plead the blood on your cell phone after you watch that. After you listen to Kim and listen to him. But that is our society. That is our society. Our society has gotten so bad that, and you might think that this is like something that's always happening. I'm telling you, it's new. The concept of female sexuality, that for men is one of the highest treasures that we could ever have. Female sexuality of beautiful women is for men, it's the highest treasure. And why do I say that? Because rich men are giving away hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars just to get women in their presence. But what is the concept now is that the most undervalued, unnecessary commodity in the world today is a vagina. Because you can go on social media and you can just stream until your arms stop working, and you will find the supply of beautiful women, millions and millions and millions and millions and millions. When you think you found the most beautiful one, you scroll 3 times and you said, oh my God, this one's better than the last one. And you will scroll and you will scroll and you will scroll. And because of the augmentation world, because of filters, because of just the innovation of beauty and what a woman can look like from I'm not talking about what she looks like out of the womb, but what she can cause herself to be look like. From everything from hairstyles to eyes to lip changes to body fillers to working out to everything. What men have come to a conclusion of is that a beautiful woman doesn't carry any value. There's just so many of them. There's so many of them that I don't have to get excited because, as we've heard, another bus will come around in 15 minutes. But that's such a degrading and disgusting idea when you think of the uniqueness of beauty, that you can change your mind about it and say beauty means nothing. It's an easy commodity to have. It's just beauty. It's out there. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And this is what has happened. Look around your communities and look at the young ladies now, 40 and under, and look into their history when they have 1 or 2 children, and look at who those men are. Look at who those men are. The drug dealer is getting the baddest chick. The simple clown, he's got his baby mama look like, how did you get this girl, bro? Oh man, I was popping bottles at the club and she wanted to be part of the crew, and she, like, how are you getting, like back in the day we'd be like, how did you get this girl? How did you get this girl? But now that's not even, maybe how did I get this girl, bro? It's like rocks in the street. Oh, these girls are all over the place. They're not hard to get. It has nothing to do with looks. It has nothing to do with wealth. It has nothing to do with affluence. It has nothing to do with position. There is just so many that beauty has lost its value. And so now what does beauty do? When it realizes that, you know what? There's a lot of beautiful women out here. It does one of two things. It either holds to its guns and says, no, I will keep a particular standard for myself. I will hold myself to a high standard. And a lot of times what that means is you're going to be by yourself. You're going to be by yourself. You're going to be all by yourself, because as you are holding yourself to a high standard, the beautiful girl next to you is saying, girl, I'm going to give it to the highest bidder. The girl next to her is saying, I'm just going to give it to anybody because I just want company. I want friends. And so you're out here holding your so-called beauty to standards that your peer group around you is saying, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. I'm going to go on OnlyFans where people like my feet, and I'm going to make $10,000 a week. And you who are holding your standards, who are shopping at Walmart, well, baby, I'm flying around the world. I'm going to Dubai. I'm eating at Ruth Chris, and you're eating at McDonald's. And so Kim Kardashians become I gotta do what I gotta do, reasonable, rational decision for women who say, well, what sense does it make for me to hold any standards when Kim's the doggone president? Kamala couldn't win, but Kim's got a better chance. Man, oh man. We live in a society that has taken the vomitoriums of the Roman Greek culture, the orgies of the Roman Greek culture, and we have not put it in a place where it is hidden at all. We have not put it in the hidden places anymore. We have put it on Main Street. We have made them all to see. But every now and then, because the disingenuousness, I gotta turn here. The disingenuousness of our morality, every now and then, we gotta go and say, I'm gonna go arrest R. Kelly because it's just getting too bad. I gotta make myself feel better. Let's just put somebody in jail. Who is the most notorious neophyte that is sitting out here right now. Sean Combs, yeah, let's arrest Sean. Let's just arrest Sean and call this thing a day. And we will now absolve ourselves of the fact that we wanted to be at those parties too. You will absolve yourself of how you feel. You listen to Ray J. You listen to Ray J. On that thing with Kim Kardashian. Ray J's like, yeah, you know, it's not right that people's booties were being defiled and people were being told to do what they weren't want to do. Kim was looking at him like, Ray J, you know doggone well what you be doing. You know doggone well what you be doing, Ray J. Ray J on that was talking about the gaugency. He's got a gaugency, an agency, but it's a R. Come on, Ray J. There's too much happening in our culture that we are simply allowing by omission and pretending that we don't see until we see it, and then say, I knew that was there the whole time. I knew that was there the whole time. I was just like, I didn't want to make it, it's none of my business. So I was just leaving that how it is. And listen, don't mistake this for the fact that everybody has a past, and everybody has a life, and everybody has made mistakes, and some people have been victimized, and some people have been manipulated so that this historical situation is something that they share, but they're trying to change it. That's very different than somebody who has been manipulated to somebody who has tried to monopolize to Caitlyn Jenner their deplorableness and put it on a world stage. It's a very different thing. It's a very different thing when you actually are a person who has talents, but you have now been dragged into the subculture, the underbelly of the evil of that particular industry, as opposed to somebody who has no talent, Kim Kardashian, no talent whatsoever. And your no talentlessness is actually a brand. And your no talentlessness pushes you to the place where they say, give us Barabbas. Let her be our leader. Wow. That is when you know the place that you are living is, listen to this part. I'm having so much trouble at my job and at my house. I go, what's wrong? What's going on with you? Oh, you know, I think our landlord's a witch. And I'm just dealing with so much. I was like, okay. She goes, well, don't you think that's crazy? I said, no. The Bible tells me that Satan is the god of this world. Why would I be alarmed that your landlord is a witch? Why would I be alarmed that your boss is a warlock? Why would I be alarmed if the region that you live in is a principality of a satanic imp? I'm not alarmed. I know that I am not of this world. I'm in this world, and that Satan runs it. I'm not alarmed. But jeepers creepers, I am not going to participate in the mythology of thinking that certain enemies, that certain antagonists are actually my leader. When you've got to do that, baby, the Bible tells me, woe unto them that call good evil and call evil good. Woe unto them. When you cannot wake up and smell the coffee of what's going on around you, but adopt a mentality of, well, if you can't beat them, you might as well join them. Yeah, you've given up. You've thrown in the towel. You've waved the white flag. You signed up. You're on their team. You got to realize that this world was not orchestrated after it was made, was not orchestrated by righteous entities, that it is orchestrated by evil entities, and that if you are part of the crowd, you're probably on the wrong side of things. If you are running behind the masses, Jeroboam's name means, Jeroboam, his name means, may the people increase. Wow. Let me see what's going on here. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, we got some folks here. Zenobia. Oh, okay. Check some of your comments out. Zenobia said, I'm grown and I don't just like that. I don't know what that means. But explain that to me. Yeah, well, I said what I got to say. I said what I got to say. And I just want you to think about it. And when people were coming on here a couple years ago and they were saying Trump 2024, we were blocking them. We were blocking them. We were like, man, get this must be a bot or something. We were blocking all of y'all. We're like, Trump 2024, man, get out of here, bro. That guy's never coming back. That guy's never coming back. They're gonna have to dig up a grave, and they're gonna have to create a clone. Clearly, I did not know what the heck I was thinking about, because I underestimated who runs this place. I underestimated it. But in closing, a Kim Kardashian presidency is something that you will probably see in your lifetime. You're going to see it in your lifetime. Because this is the last thing I'm going to say. Donald Trump is the last guard of old white men running the world. You're never going to see it again. You're never going to see it again. Because the conservative right realized that they only had one opportunity to have one last stand. And they realized there was no other candidate. There was nobody else who would kind of fit. And so what they did is they pushed their heads in the sand and they pressed the button for Donald and said, you know what? It's as close as we're ever going to come again. Your world is not going to be run, the Western world's not going to be run like that anymore. And let me tell you that liberal ideologies are going to outmeasure conservative ideologies all the time. America did almost the impossible with getting Donald Trump elected again. It was almost the impossible. Think about it. Like it's him twice impeached, multiple charges, one-term president, and you guys figured out a way to get this guy elected again. Like that was incredible. What am I going to do first? I think I'm going to go get breakfast before I go to the gym. So, my gym's just over here. I go to the gym every morning because I got to be ready for you ninjas. But you're not going to see that anymore in the West. Justin Trudeau presidency, a prime ministership, has lasted so long, and he's our liberal. He's a liberal, so he's left leaning. It's lasted so long in Canada because Canada's liberalism has, listen to this, has outmeasured its whiteism. They'd rather a liberal anything than simply just a white person. They love the liberal policies of the Liberal Party of Canada. That's what they're called, the Liberal Party. Justin Trudeau's party is called the Liberal Party. The other party is called the PC, the Progressive Conservatives. The Conservatives are just conservatives. They're not that progressive. But the fact that we elected, or as a leader of the PC party, a party that I normally lean towards, right? So in America, I would be considered more of a Republican, although there was no way in hell I'd be voting Republican in America. But as far as I'm a conservative person, I'm on the right side of things, right, and the right side of things. But they put an individual up there who's a slick talker, fast talker, but he's a white French guy, and so they put him up there, and I don't think he has the capacity to knock off Trudeau because of Trudeau's legacy, and because Canada wants liberalism. They just want liberalism, and sometimes you have to package your liberalism, even if you're a conservative, in a different face. So we had a black woman, who's probably the smartest woman in Canada. Her name is Dr. Leslie Ann Lewis. She was running for the PC job too. She's a lawyer. She's a brilliant woman, and she didn't get the job. But in the PC party, every time they need an actual intelligent sound clip or something to make real policy, they go to her. And so what I'm trying to say is that you're going to have two types of society. You're going to have societies that on its face, it's going to represent the liberalism of your society. The right in America has mistaken that for a diversity. That's not diversity. It's simply a liberalism mask that is being worn. The DEI issue, the diversity, equity, and inclusion aspects of society are things that are actually fairness based, and they are merit based. But liberalism just says, let's just put a different face on it to make it look good. And I believe that's what you're going to see. I believe that the Kardashian push for leadership in America is going to be a push that won't have to be pushed very hard. That America, especially after 4 years of Donald, is going to be looking for the absurd, because you had to do the absurd to put Donald back in the White House. So even though Donald is supposed to be a conservative, it's an absurd choice. It's actually a leftist choice of a right-leaning president, because you took an individual who was absolutely unqualified just to put a face on something. And I believe that's a thing of the past. These are my few words. This is Dell K. Britt. This is the Shiloh Institute of the Real Spiel, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. We'll talk soon, baby. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye. Kanye for president was a joke, and so is Kim. So is Donald Trump.